Hey, is that folk music that you play there? What is that? How do you call that folk music?
I think it was Studs Terkel who asked Big Bill Brunzi, did he consider his blues music to be folk music? And Big Bill says, well, never heard no horses.
Don't hesitate. It could be your ticket to a new tomorrow.
All right, all right, all right.
All right. The show is Horses Sing None of It. My name is Ralph Litwin, and our guest is Don Slepian.
Pleased to be with you.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you. It's been 22 years? Yes. I was here 22 years ago. I look just the same, don't I?
Me too.
Yeah, both of us, right? You can see.
It's amazing.
That's true. Well, how does this fit in with folk music? That's a question I would raise.
Horses don't play it.
That's right. Horses play none of this. Think about that. That's true. It also was the folk music of long ago. I started out with some Spanish guitar-like sounds. But on the keyboard. Go figure. That's sort of strange, but there you have it. This does more for the keyboard than you can imagine. Because I have an instrument here that has the sounds of the orchestra. So that's what I was playing, was all these different sounds. So what can I tell you, Alf? What would you like to know? Any thoughts?
Did you invent this instrument?
Oh no, I didn't invent this. I've been playing these things and building them since the 60s. What I did is I had some work in voicing and creating the instrument that you see right here. But this is a class of instruments that are usually here in movie soundtracks, digital keyboards, electronic music instruments. They've been around since the 60s. It's just now that it's a simple single keyboard, a couple of little push buttons, it's gotten a lot easier. And now all the kids that are coming up, they're growing up with this sort of stuff they take for granted. What I'm doing is just playing it out as a concert instrument. So no, I just voiced this one the way you'd voice a piano or a guitar.
What about the samples?
The samples, I did make some samples, I collect sounds, but mostly I'm taking sounds that other people have taken and I'm making them more expressive. In other words, I'm making them so it's very soft and loud. So it's really the sensitivity. That's what makes it a little different. It's that I'm using dynamics and I'm using different sort of musicality to make this expressive as a new instrument. So what I'm trying to do is what you were doing with the banjo all those years ago. Always loved your banjo work.
Thank you.
It was great. And with the banjo, that's an expressive American instrument. Well, this is an expressive American instrument too. This is a Native American folk instrument. A man by the name of Ray Kurzweil developed the sound thing that I'm using. It's actually down here. The sound device was developed here in America by Ray Kurzweil. And this keyboard comes to us from Austin, Texas, something called Infinite Response Keyboard. So this is just as American as your banjo.
All right.
And horses do play none of it. So, can I play you something else? What would you want to hear?
Whatever you've got to serve up.
What have I got to serve up? Well, a little bombast and then into something more mellow.
Very nice, very nice.
Went through different spaces there, a little orchestral, a little here, a little this, a little that. Maybe it sounded like listening to the radio on scan. And any secret people that like to listen to the radio on scan? I mean, some of us like to listen to the radio on scan, but not many of us. But sort of its musical stream of consciousness. In other words, I'm making this stuff up, and I sort of live and like this sort of thing. This is what I really enjoy doing this. I play regular things too, but you really can't, it's a big no-no to play it on this show. You know, all the stuff that everybody knows. So I'm playing original music today, which is what I really, it's closest to my heart. I love to do that.
You call this original classical music?
Yes, I call this original classical, but since classical music ended in the 19th century, we just have to call it digital folk. What do you think?
Sounds good to me.
Yes, I mean, after all, could this not, if this is an indigenous American instrument, could it not be digital folk?
Could be.
Could be. Could be. What I'm doing actually is usually people make movie scores with this, or you hear this in studios, you hear it for movie soundtracks. Sometimes rock bands will play these instruments on stage, but they don't usually have a big part. So what I'm doing is taking an electronic keyboard, this setup, playing it as a solo concert instrument, feeling that there really is something here to be had. At least as a novelty opening to orchestras, you never know. Can't tell where this is going to end up. But here I am on Horses Sing None of It. I wanted to mention my website. I know it's going to be on the print afterwards. It's donslepian.com, and that's D-O-N, S as in Sam, L-E-P as in Peter, I-A-N. Oh, look, magic! It's on the screen. donslepian.com. If you go there, you'll see my upcoming concert dates, and you can sign up for our mailing list and actually get notices of when I play. I'm doing lots in the New York City area, or at least intend to for whenever this is aired. So that's the way to get hold of me. Yes, I do have recordings, a number of them there, and all sorts of things that you'll find if you go to donslepian.com. Anything else you want to hear or talk about?
Tell us about some of your exploits in Hawaii.
In Hawaii? I grew up between Summit, New Jersey and Hawaii. So I grew up with two different cultures, two different sets of friends, and found myself very influenced by not only Hawaiian culture, but by Japanese, Korean, Chinese, by Oriental culture as well. I also studied ethnomusicology. I'm a member of Gamelan. I learned different styles and different types of music. So that was really opened me up to the world there by being in that place. But on the other hand, here I am back in the New York area because I like the energy here. It's always exciting to be in this area and in the culture I grew up in. More music?
Sure.
What would you like?
More music is good.
Okay, want to whistle me a tune? No? Okay, well I'll have to make something up then. Now for something entirely different. Here we go, something different.
Very nice. Do you ever make up names for these compositions?
Let's see. We'll call this 82913. It's a good name for it. Opus 82913. No, that's yeah. Sometimes I do make up names for it. It's true. As you can tell, I learned my music from the Bugs Bunny cartoons. Obviously, the Bugs Bunny opus is very, very influential here. And after all, what I learned from Bugs. And yes, I do make things up. I actually develop more pieces, but here I'm giving you a pastiche of all sorts of things in the little bit of time we've got. In other words, I'm doing the best I can before the hook comes out, guys. So what else? Do you have any questions about this, or anything you want to ask about, or anything curious about? You saw me playing back in the '80s. I used to play for the Folk Project festival weekends, and I was playing an instrument that was the predecessor of this one, even back then, long ago. So I've been doing this for more than 40 years, truth be told. And I'm likely to keep doing it. I hope for another few years at least. Anything you want, or shall I go on and play some more?
Go on and play some more.
Play some more, okay. Well,
We've got about 4 minutes left in
4
the show.
minutes. Don't know if this microphone is, if you can hear me. And it occurs to me, one of the things I'm looking for, really, I'm looking for places where I can play this instrument in concert. In other words, this is a great concert instrument, and it's really hard to find places where I could play either by myself or with an orchestra or in a classical setting where they'd be open to a new instrument like this. So anybody that's got any suggestions or ideas, you can reach me through my website, which is there. I'm looking at this thing. Are you ready to play your harp?
Yes, I am.
Because I wouldn't want to leave without jamming. And if you're ready, we're going to start an old tune from the first decade of the century, about a poor man who was run out of his home with a fine-tooth comb.
Won't you come home, Bill Bailey? Won't you come home? She moaned the whole night long. I'll do the cooking, honey. I'll pay the rent, 'cause I know I done you wrong. Remember that rainy evening I threw you out? Nothing but a fine-tooth comb. Oh, Bill Bailey, ain't it a shame? Bill Bailey, won't you please come home?